a fine day, three men representing China, the United States, and France met and decided to hold a contest to see who was the manliest man on the planet to win. Each contestant had to pass through 3 rooms. Room 1 contained 1,000 liters of alcohol. Room 2 held one fierce tiger. Room 3 had a young, beautiful woman to take the prize. A contestant had to drink all the alcohol, defeat the tiger, and then complete the final challenge with the woman 1,000 times. The American, proud of his physical strength, rushed straight into the tiger's room. After 2 days and 3 nights, his body was carried out. The Frenchman, confident in his romance and charm, chose the woman's room first. After 99 times, his body was carried out as well. That left only the Chinese contestant. He told himself, drinking first makes sense. He drank all 1,000 liters of alcohol, then staggered into the tiger's room. The tiger roared in terror for an entire day. The next morning, people went in and carried the tiger's body out. Moments later, the Chinese man stumbled out, slurring his words. "I'm so drunk. Can someone tell me where the tiger's room is?" 3 men from China, Mexico, and the United States applied for a job at Tesla. The hiring manager invited the Mexican applicant in first. "There's a job like this," the manager said. "Do you think you can do it?" "I can do it," the man replied enthusiastically. "How much salary would you accept?" $5,000, the Mexican answered honestly. The manager asked him to wait outside. Next, the Chinese applicant came in. "There's a job like this. Can you do it?" "I can do it," he replied confidently. "How much salary would you accept?" $10,000, the Chinese man said. "That's expensive," the manager replied. "Do you know the Mexican applicant is willing to do this job for only $5,000? "Sorry, I don't think you understand," the man said. "I'll also take $5,000. The other $5,000 is for you." The manager told him to wait outside. Finally, it was the American's turn. "There's a job like this. Can you do it?" "That's easy," the American replied. "How much salary would you accept?" $15,000, he answered. "That's very expensive," the manager said. "Do you know the Mexican applicant is willing to do this job for only $5,000? "Sorry, I don't think you understand," the American said calmly. "I'll take $5,000. $5,000 is for you, and the remaining $5,000 I'll hire the Mexican guy to do the job." After the success of the International Math Olympiad, the host country China organized an international education conference. The event brought together education ministers from countries with highly developed education systems. The conference quickly turned into a heated debate over which country had the best education system. The United States spoke first. "In our country, computer science plays a leading role. A 3-year-old child can already skillfully use computers and the internet." The audience buzzed with excitement. Japan followed. "That's nothing." In Japan, there are gifted children who at just 9 years old are already studying at the university level. The entire hall erupted in applause. Then it was China's turn, the host country. Everyone waited nervously for the minister's speech. He calmly said, "All of that is ordinary. In China, we even have many students who can't read or write, yet still graduate from middle school." Trump and Putin were sitting on a helicopter flying over the skies of New York, piloted by a Chinese pilot. Feeling bored, Putin pulled out some cash, stuck his hand out the window, and teased Trump. "If I let go, the whole city of New York will be happy." Trump got annoyed and fired back. He pulled out his wallet, grabbed a thick stack of money, and held it out the window. "If I let go, the entire United States will be happy." The Chinese pilot, who had been listening the whole time, muttered to himself, "Two idiots. If I let go, the whole world would be happy." The whole world was buzzing with excitement. One day, the United States announced that they had dug 300 meters underground and discovered copper wires. They proudly declared, 300 years ago, Americans already knew how to use telegraphs to communicate. The next day, Russia released its own announcement. They had dug 500 meters underground and discovered fiber optic cables, they claimed. 500 years ago, Russians already knew how to use landline telephones to communicate. Not to be outdone, China made an announcement the following day. They said they had dug 1,000 meters underground and found nothing at all. So they concluded, 1,000 years ago, Chinese people already knew how to use mobile phones. The world organized a bravery competition with 3 countries taking part: the United States, Japan, and China. The American contestant stepped forward wearing a cowboy outfit, shouted, "America is great," and dramatically proved his courage. Not to be outdone, the Japanese contestant yelled, "The samurai spirit lives forever," and showed his own extreme determination. Then it was China's turn. The Chinese contestant didn't say a word. Instead, he struggled to drag a 500-kilogram bomb into the middle of the field, sat down and started sawing it in half. The judges immediately announced, "China wins." Who's afraid of who? The whole world is afraid of Americans because when Americans say something, they actually do it. But Americans are afraid of the Japanese because the Japanese do it first and only talk about it afterward. So who are the Japanese afraid of? The answer is the Chinese, because the Chinese don't even talk. They just do it. The Japanese are always cautious of China since China is a major power with strong military potential. So the question is, who are the Chinese afraid of? The answer is the Vietnamese. Because Vietnamese people say one thing and do another, and no one ever knows what's really coming. Now, let me introduce a story called The Thief-Catching Machine. After a long period of research, American scientists successfully invented a machine designed to catch thieves. To test how effective it was, they decided to take the machine to different countries for trials. First, they tested it in the United States. Within 1 hour, the machine caught 500 thieves. Next, they took it to Japan. In just 30 minutes, the machine caught 1,000 thieves. Finally, they brought the machine to China. Within 5 minutes, the machine itself was stolen. Let me introduce a story called the Hunger Endurance Contest. A competition was organized called the Hunger Endurance Contest, with 3 countries participating: China, the United States, and Japan. Each contestant was placed in an empty room. Inside each room, there was only one switch. If the contestant pressed the switch, a bell would ring outside, signaling that they could no longer endure the hunger, and so the contest began. The time started counting. After 2 days, the American contestant could no longer stand the hunger and pressed the bell to quit. On day 4, the Japanese contestant also reached his limit and with great effort pressed the bell. He was immediately taken out. According to the rules, the organizers had to wait for the contestant to press the bell on their own, since the time would be recorded as a world record before awarding the prize. But after 6 days, then 8 days, the Chinese contestant still hadn't pressed the bell. The organizers began to worry. Finally, they were forced to open the door to check on him. Inside, they found the Chinese contestant lying weakly in the corner, barely alive, looking almost dead. After reviving him, the organizers asked, "What gave you such incredible determination? How could you endure hunger for so long without quitting?" With great difficulty, the Chinese man whispered, Who the hell broke my bell?" And then he passed out again. A Chinese man was walking down the street when he accidentally bumped into an American man. The Chinese man quickly said, "I'm sorry." Seeing this, the American man politely replied, "I'm sorry too." The Chinese man then said, "I'm sorry 3." The American man looked confused and asked, "What are you sorry for?" The Chinese man immediately replied, "I'm sorry 5." Now, irritated, the American man still asked, "Are you sick?" The Chinese man continued, "I'm sorry 7." Completely exhausted, The American man said, "Do you plan to count to 8? The Chinese man calmly replied, "I'm sorry, 9. At that point, the American man completely gave up.